Okay, am I actually live this time? Hopefully. Come on, please work YouTube. Please. It would be so pleasant of you to actually tell me if I'm streaming or not. I would really, really appreciate it. Come on. Come on. You can do it, YouTube. Nope. Oh, okay, I'm actually live this time. Sorry, guys, I've been messing around with YouTube for a little bit here, and this is now actually working. So, that is good to see. Um, Just give me one quick second to post the link in the Discord like I always do. Bada boom, bada bing, I'm live. And welcome to the chat. Who we got? Gate. I have no idea you say that. Gate and Demoria. No idea you say that. What's up, I painted this. Welcome back. And Nova Guerrero. I'm gonna go with that. Also, no face games. Ochamama. Hello. We clear off some of this stuff. As you guys can see, I had just a little fun little mishap related to the commands that caused just some misplacement, some misallocation of resources into my command area, which also reminds me that I need to place some blocks over this area so as to prevent such mishaps from occurring in the future. Alright, Mr. Big Root, what's up? Oh, hi Renty. Try to pick Illager boss and you can't reset the cam at. Now we're gonna do this. 222, fill. Oop, there we go. The reason I'm doing this is because of the way the generation for all of my stuff happens. We're gonna go right over the middle. Do 20. Should be 20, not 10. This prevents accidentally generating over my commands and deleting them by accident, which, as you can imagine, would be somewhat less than ideal. So that should prevent this from happening because of a glass ceiling. All right, let's make sure the ceiling is placed in the right spot. All right, good, good. All right. Okay, what ideas do you have to improve the end? I've actually done some of the. I've already talked more about the ideas in previous streams, so I'm probably not going to super reiterate. But basically, the gist of it is I'm adding different biomes with different mechanics, different bosses, or different enemies, different gadgets. So last episode, I think I didn't really. So the portal gun was my latest tutorial, so that's actually going to be part of the end update. Of course, is we're going to have the portal gun, which I think is pretty fun. More like portal fun, am I right, guys? Haha, just kidding. So there's going to be different biomes that correspond with some of these different gadgets. I've already made one complete biome, which is the Gravity Oak. So the one that we're going to be working on today is the Crystalline Fields, which includes this kind of bouncing laser that I also already made in a tutorial as part of this project. So, okay. I knew he was going to stream. Yeah, you knew that. Did you? Did you? Is that so? Is that so? Okay. Sid, the vines break any of the command blocks? No, the way the vines generate, they wouldn't break any command blocks, but the way those things are going to generate, they could, which is why I want to get the glass up beforehand. Can you add a custom mob that does not use FMB? Yeah, you can do some of the play animations without FMB. It's not really like fully custom, but sort of. Um, would you consider doing a stream where you play viewers command games? I mean, honestly, that's sort of what the challenges are. I could do a challenge in the future that's all about mini games or something like that. Would be fun. Rent is mean. I agree. All right, let's start work on what are we starting work on? The next biome is what we're starting on. So these are my gadgets right here. In this section. So I'm gonna clear out some of these sea pickles here. So what we're gonna be doing is for the crystalline fields, we're going to make it so basically these crystals can generate along the ground as well as some of the amethyst clusters. I'm gonna have like some of these generating along the ground too. And yeah, basically this area is going to spawn in some custom vex. And the main reason you're going to want to go here is to get the laser pointer. So, personally, I am actually really excited for the next biome I'm going to make. This, I'm just trying to go in order, just in the way that I have my notes set up. The next biome is going to be super cool because it's going to be like actual puzzle solving. There's going to be what I'm calling a portal storm, where portals spawn in the sky and start dropping meteors on you as you're in the biome, which I think will be really fun. And like the portal gun portals that I made my last tutorial I just showed off earlier. So I'm actually really excited for the next biome, but I want to go in order of how everything works. Keep it all nice and tidy. Okay, where do I have the generation? Is it this? Yes, here it is. Okay. Would people be allowed to submit games they made before the challenge? Yeah, I'd allow previous games. By the way, making text with FMB is very tedious, I would imagine that to be the case. Never tried it, don't have any intentions to. So I do already have Obsidian, or Crying Obsidian actually tied into the crystals, but yeah. Crystals I built last stream, so. Alright, so big crystals are what we're gonna call the main one. Crystal spawn. Structure gem 1. Hold on, I need to go measure some stuff here. How big is this, John? 9 by 9, so we'll say 5 by 5. I make fireworks and say Merry Christmas for the command block challenge. Oh, nice. Gotcha, yeah. No, that's definitely a lot of work, but that'd be really cool if you can pull it off. Alright, say big crystal add crystal spawn. Okay. When did they ever add these leaderboard? They've added them within a month or two. Oh yeah, I forgot that zombie candles exist. Um, they're kind of, I think, limited in the way that they work because basically you can only get like XP for the first 3 messages. I think it's meant for big streamers who get like a lot of donations and stuff because I think donations increase it by like a decent amount. But that's sort of like the real big way to get it to go, which is yeah. You only get a little bit for text chat. I think as I said, super chats I think are what really give it to you. Okay, so I don't need that. Don't need that. But I do need these. Okay. So yeah, we can still use the grab score because that's fine. Some of the armor stand crystal. big crystal. Um, yeah, like right in the text fireworks. Or, I assume it's just preset with the FMBs and just making FMBs spell it out, which is still very, very difficult to do. Uh, Wait a second. Someone understand Vine, what do I call this? Cry spawn. How do you mention people? I have no idea. Do. Alright, so. Alright, let's see. Execute if entity at E name equals big crystal. Scores equal grav equals 1.3. We'll do 2.4 just in case. Name equals crystal. No, cry spawn equals cry spawn if block and stone. Run structure load -2. Should be something like that. Eh. Okay, so it should be something like that. Just make sure I got the measurements right. Gem 2 is a 6x6, so 3x3 works. So then Gem 3 is going to be 4x4. So, okay. What are you going to make next for the end? So right now I'm working on the crystal fields, which are basically a field where a bunch of amethyst crystals are going to be able to spawn in naturally. That's what I'm working on right now. And then after that, the next biome that I'm going to be working on is what I'm calling the shipwreck, which is basically a crashed, like a crashed flying steampunky type ship. And yeah, and it's gonna have like whatchamacallums, copper golems kind of roaming around, like kind of a little puzzle where you have to solve it to make a portal gun. Is sort of what I'm looking at right now, as far as the next set of updates. Okay, so the rest of these are all the same profile. Yeah, they're all 4x4. Okay, cool. So just 2 for each of these. And then we'll give this a test here, see if this works. So we have 4 of each. So 13 to 18. You should make the end stone of the crystalline fields turn into obsidian, and the crying obsidian, if it fits in the end, it would look cool with crystals. Turning all the end stone black would be too much. So the idea here is, I've sort of talked about this in the past live stream, is I don't there's a sense where I don't want it to feel like these things are changing the end itself. Rather, these things have sort of plopped into the end somehow. They just sort of ended up here, and now they're just here. You know, like they're not necessarily changing the terrain, they're adding on to it. And they're sort of colliding with what's already there. They're not sort of changing it. So, yeah, I think changing it all to Obsidian would be too much. Uh, the Royal Blood, there's not too much lore. It's sort of, you know, I just think that crystals are pretty and therefore they deserve to exist. I think that's as simple. I think that's beautiful in its own right, you know? Why do you keep spelling Rent's name wrong? Day two of asking copy for stream music. Yeah, so I actually did try stream music and I thought I had some copyright free music one time for I think I forget which stream it was. I think it was for the Chaos Verse or something like that. Did stream, thought I had copyright free music. Turns out I didn't. Had to delete the stream afterwards, which is the main reason that I've not done stream music since. Do I have 8 gems? I think that's right. Uh, yeah. So actually, Pleb, I think I reached out to you, but yes, if you can send me the artwork that you have for your OC, then yes, I will include it here into the. Well, I think yours would actually fit more into the gravity oak biome than the crystal fields, but I'll let you decide. You know, sort of what fits best for you, I guess. Okay. So what we're gonna do is cap this off and then see if the generation actually works like I hope it will. Hopefully. And we're gonna make some backups before I do that, of course. But yeah. So gem 8. So then we want to do this, which is to say 37 to I don't know 49. Then should be run set block -1 to what is it? Amethyst cluster. How's it gonna place? All right, that's gonna place in the right one. Okay, so that should work. Let me just cap it off with the kill command, or else it's gonna go bonkers. Okay, let me make a backup here. Y'all done anything to get the zombie horse cape? I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright, duplicated it. We're gonna test it in the duplicate. Let's go. I don't know why I said it like that. That was kind of weird, but whatever. We're just gonna find a nice, fairly open area. Huh. Usually I see endless cities all over the place in this end, but it's actually not in this area. It's okay. There's too many in the end in the Bedrock edition though. Alright, let's see if this works how I'm thinking it's gonna work without crashing or destroying everything. Summon, armor, stand, bop, bop, bop. None, big, crystal. Okay, so the big one did not spawn, but everything else did. Hey, okay, not bad, not bad. They said the big one didn't work. for some reason. But let me go check why that is. Keep it as there we go. Should be gem 3. I did save it, right? Or gem 1. Save. Look at a zombie horse cosmetic. Interesting. Okay. Add us. Oh, that would be why. Remove crystal spawn. There we go. Alright, so this is sort of what the crystalline fields would look like. Do you guys think we need more gems to spawn? Like, should I spawn more in? So this is where I actually like, this is where I really like doing live streams and get your feedback. Should we add more gems to this area? Like, should it be denser? Should we have more stuff going on here? What do you guys think as far as like a mini biome would go? I painted this as a little more crying obsidian. What do you guys think? I think we should have more. I think we should make it denser, right? Denser as far as the big crystals, maybe spread it out a little bit more like a, yeah. And then more ground crystals for sure, like the, just even a little bit, like the amethyst ones right here. Add more of them. So they're going to expand the radius just a little bit by like 10 blocks, but then make it so each one of these is going to spawn more, as well as more stuff on the grounds. I think that would be the best way to go. So why are these all named? Amethyst cluster, okay, I gotcha. We'll add more of them. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Copy, is there a way to teleport specific items? Teleport to specific items, or like teleport specific items to a specific place? You're gonna have to be a bit more descriptive. Alright, we're gonna say 2 to 6, and then 7 to 11, and then 12 to 20, 20 to 28, 29 to 36, 36 to 44, 45 to 52. Give me 1 second, I'll read up the chat. I did see your message, but I'll get into why I'm not doing exactly that. Alright, so this is 52. This is going to be 52 to 73. Alright, so what is that? Large amethyst bud. So we'll say 74 to 98. 99 to 114. And then, oops, 115 to 130. Whoops, 130. And so these are all large, medium, small amethyst bud. Okay. Amethyst cluster, large, amethyst bud, medium, amethyst bud, and small amethyst bud. One day someone's gonna be a compilation of some. Yeah, whatever. You know what? Do it. I dare you. Alright, so this is what it looks like right now. This is the first iteration, so let's try this again. We'll go over here and see what it looks like. The biome could be a different color, crying obsidian purple. So here's the thing. Let me just generate this like it is right now, and then I'll adjust the biome floor because I don't think that's going to look good. And I'll explain why, and I'll even demonstrate it, but I don't think it's going to look good. But we'll go summon. I would just do the same one that I did. Just put in the new coordinates. Alright, so that should spawn in. All the crystals start spawning in. Interesting, there's like a weird gap, like here. Okay, so that looks like it's completely done. Does that look right? I don't know why there's such a big gap in this section. That's kind of weird to me. I think I do still even need more crystals than what I got right now. I don't think it's bad, but it needs to be denser. But here's the problem. What you guys were saying about making it obsidian, like that's not going to look good. It really isn't. I'll do like a small section of this over here just to sort of show you guys. But I don't think it's going to look good. Like, here. I will fill here. To here. We're going to replace it. Because I feel like to me it is just such a stark contrast with the end stone around it. Like yes, it might look all right with how the crystals themselves blend into the end stone. That's fair, and I do see that. What I'm saying is it's such a stark contrast to the rest of the end stone that you're gonna get to the edge of the border and it's gonna be like it's just way too much. On top of the fact, like I said, the design is the idea sort of is these things sort of came into the end and started growing. Uh, I don't think necessarily that the obsidian would make sense to sort of look like it's growing, if that makes sense. So I don't think like yeah, I think it doesn't look bad, but I think it's too much as far as the overall design that I'm going for, and it's too stark of a contrast between the rest of the biome around it. So that's sort of my take on that. I'm still gonna add more crystals though, because it definitely needs more than what I have right now. Okay, so no 2 to 6. We're gonna do 2 to 10. 11 to 18. That's 18. 19 to 32. 33 to 45. 46 to 55, 56 to 75, 76 to 96, 97 to 133, 134 to 166, 167 to, what should I do? 167. 167 to 200. 201 to 230. Okay, let's try this one out. Find another place that I haven't generated any. Bleh. Find another place that's sort of empty to generate this in, but where there's enough where it can sort of spread out, not be too much into the void. There you go, right here. Put you here. Whoops. Alright, let's try and see what this looks like. Um, Monkey wants some money. Have you ever thought about making Spider-Man in Minecraft with commands? I actually have, and I actually have an idea on how I want to do it. I just haven't done it yet. Because it's going to be a fairly big project the way that I want to do it, so it's one of the things that it's so highly requested that if I'm going to do it, I want to do it well. So I want to make sure that I'm able to do it well before I do it at all. That's a medium. That's a large, okay. Alright, I think this looks good. What do you guys think? As far as the density, kind of the spread of this area, like I feel like this is a decent sort of sub-biome. Because the idea is, you sort of ignore these ones because those are test examples. You're sort of exploring the end, and you say, oh, wait a second, you see the little crystals over the edge. You realize, oh, this is a crystal fields biome. So that's what it means. It's sort of like it is part of the end, but it's this special thing that's sort of existing in the context of what the end already is, if that makes sense. So you can spot. That's weird. There's a little gap there too. But you have some extra light sources here, so it sort of looks a little bit different. Then we're gonna get in. So Monkey Wants Money. I actually already talked about that. Why I'm not changing the floor. Because part of it is number one, the sort of the design standpoint is everything that's in here sort of just like found plopped its way into the end and sort of grew there. So like these kind of crystals almost grew in the end naturally. Whereas we did a little test over here, the floor doesn't look really that good when you change it. I mean, this is obviously you can other things than obsidian, but it just doesn't really look all that good. Like it just not only sure it works okay with the crystals, but it just blends really terribly. I don't even mean the shape, just the stark contrast between the end stone doesn't look good, and it just like I said, it sort of feels less like it's actually the end at that point, and that's sort of my goal is to make it feel like this is still the end, if that makes sense. Because I've seen some other people try to do like an end update with commands, or at least I've seen one other person do it. And one of the things I really didn't like about the way he designed it, no offense to him or anything, but it just didn't feel like the end anymore. It sort of lost what the end was about. So my goal is to keep a lot of what the end is about with sort of adding into it rather than completely changing what the end is supposed to be. So, that being said, there's really only a couple things left that we need to do for the crystal fields to be complete. So one of the things that I mentioned before is that the crystal fields is where you're going to get. Is this one from another world or native, like the Grav Edge? I don't know what you're talking about. So one of the things that you're going to get, the reason to sort of go to the crystalline fields is so you can get this laser pointer weapon. So one of the things that's going to be happening in this area is you're actually going to have Vex that spawn in this zone. And the Vex are actually going to be shooting these lasers. So the way that so it's going to feel a little bit more alive because you're going to have these kind of lasers that are sort of dotting and bouncing around all over the place in this area. They're going to start bouncing around all over the place in this area, and you're sort of going to have to dodge it, and it just makes the whole area feel a little bit more alive. Because right now it's cool, but it still looks very dead. So the lasers are really going to help it feel way more alive, I think. And it's going to get into sort of the concept of how you're actually going to get the laser pointer, which is how you basically reflect a laser back to the Vex. You drop a single obsidian floor around the elements of this crystal structure, so when the crystals spawn, the floor will turn into an obsidian blends. Once again, it's still, the obsidian is too stark of a contrast. And it, like I said, it doesn't quite feel like the end, in my opinion. It doesn't quite feel like the end. It's just too stark of a contrast. What's up, Aaron Acosios? Thank you so much for the super chat. It's much appreciated. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, Aaron. So like I said, I don't know if you I didn't see your chat before this, so you might have just got here. But yeah, we're currently working on making some custom biomes in the end, and this right here is the Crystal Fields, as I'm calling it. So we're going to So now we're going to get into the actual spawning. This part isn't too hard, especially because I've already designed the laser pointer. The laser pointer is literally going to work the exact same. And here's how it's going to work as far as getting it. What you're going to have to do to get the first one is there's going to be special Vex that spawn in this vial. Oop. Anything you do that on Bedrock? I thought it was a Java only thing. Okay. Sorry, what was I saying? So yeah. So the way that you're actually going to get one of these is that the Vex has to get hit with a laser. So the thing is like once you actually get a laser yourself, it's actually super easy to get a laser because you just have to manually hit a Vex yourself with the laser pointer. So once you get your first one, it's really easy to get multiple if you want to, but for the first time. How did you spawn in? I didn't pull my portal gun out. Excuse me. I have no idea how that guy came. Anyways, so basically the Vex are going to spawn in, so what you're going to have to do is they're going to occasionally shoot lasers of their own accord, but they're also going to shoot lasers at you whenever you're nearby. Someone join my... I swear, I just switched to the player tracker. Oh, you joined. Okay. So occasionally it's going to... Like I said, it's gonna bounce into the Vex, and I'm just gonna tell TPQ here. He's gonna have to. Oh, whoops. Boop. Okay. So I said occasionally these Vex are going to they're going to shoot at you, but they're also going to shoot randomly. So that's going to make the whole area feel more alive, but you're going to have to basically try to position yourself so that the Vex ricochet and hit themselves in order to get your laser pointer. So part of the whole idea too with all of the gadgets that I want to implement is you have to in some way interact with the biome to get it, or getting it allows you to interact with the biome in a unique way. Because I've shown previously how the gravities end, you get the gravity staff. In that biome, there's naturally floating blocks that are like debris. And one of the cool things about the gravity staff is on top of naturally spawning in those gravity blocks, you can actually use the gravity blocks that spawn naturally to make your attack even stronger with it. So, that being said, let's actually start spawning these guys. Spawning is not that complicated, luckily, so yeah. We're gonna cheat a little bit and do crystal. Laser Vex. So what we're doing here is just making a simple spawn system. Nothing too fancy here at the moment, not yet at least. Big crystal. Yeah, rant. Come on, rant. Alright, so that's all I need for the spawning. So now I need to get into the special mechanics, which is, let me see here. Where am I at? Where's the summon? I think I just need to do boop. What do you guys think? Should I have a second mob? Because right now I'm planning to only have the Vex for this biome. Um, can you put the dollar I gave you on red? What if I put it on black instead? That's the real question. What is that supposed to mean? How do you guys not know what that means? Come on, guys. Not that I know what it means, of course, right? I'm a good boy, right? Like I don't know what that means. Haha. We're gonna actually do all of this. But yeah, it's just a color. Um, so this is gonna be the random one that's just gonna spawn it randomly, if there is one. Say if no. Say if entity at A R equals 60. Tag equals laser, no. Name equals laser vex. If entity at A R equals 60, add laser. Crazy, you're crazy once. Wait, is it like a bad term? No. Just gambling. It's roulette. Yeah, I gotta make roulette in Minecraft sometime. I already made a. Why am I blanking on what I've already made? You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys saw the video. As at E. Alright, we're just gonna leave that off for this one. It's gam. Did you not? Wait, did you not know it was gambling when you said it? These are like because I was googling. Nice. Your stream is very slow. Is it very slow? Oh, chat. Is a portal gun related to one of the new biomes? Yes. So that's actually going to be related to the next biome that's going to come out. Which I'm actually very excited for. The next biome, if it comes out in the way that I have it planned to be, it will be my favorite biome so far. And then should be if entity at A r equals 10. Alright, let's see what happens here. Give me an anvil. Laser Vex, as opposed to the normal Vex. So as you can see, they're all in the radius of me, so they're going to start profusely shooting out lasers. But even if they're in just somewhat near me, they're going to occasionally shoot lasers. Alright, let's see if they actually spawn the way that they are supposed to. Let me catch up with the chat. Which is the next bomb? It's the shipwreck. Be cool if there's a range bomb that's teleported behind you in the portal biome thing. The Endermen don't do it very well. So the portal biome actually isn't going to have any hostile mobs. There will be copper golems. And there's going to be the kind of danger there is going to be the portal storm. What are you doing? Okay, so that's what I did. Fun to know. I see what I did. Hi Frostbite. You are fairly late. You started 45 minutes ago, and I already basically completed the whole biome. It's kind of calm, but also eerie. That's sort of I still want to keep it calm and eerie, but also adding some things to it, if that makes sense, is sort of my hope. Because I don't want to lose what the end is. Like I said, I watched another video of somebody else trying to do a similar project, and I just sort of got the vibe that they just didn't. They just, it to me at least, it's bad. To me, it sort of felt like they just lost what the end was supposed to be about. And I just didn't really, it just didn't feel like the end anymore, quite frankly. And yeah, that's sort of my perspective on the matter, at least. Okay, so now the Vex are spawning in. They're going to occasionally shoot lasers, but of course, you guys can see the lasers bouncing around already. If I get in range, and more particularly, if I am in survival mode, oh, here we go. They're going to start shooting at me. I need to lower them because I kind of forgot I put them at the height of a player when they should not be at the height of a player. But other than that, it works. Survival adventure doesn't make a difference for that. You should make a Discord server. I have a Discord server. It's got like several thousand people in it. 100.3. 100.3. That should work. Yeah, Discord should be linked in the description. I link it in like every video. Eventually, you could add a temporary bridge building system, which could help traverse. That's not a bad idea. You should let me join your server. Yeah, just should be in the stream description. If it's not in the stream description, um, check my video. Check any video. I know it's in the video of every description. It's in the description of every video. My bad. Aren't you that hinged guy? I don't know what that means. Okay. That being said, do we want to add any other mobs to the crystalline fields? In the portal gun related biome, you get a device that teleports you between dimensions at the cost of life. How's your Discord work? I'm still stuck in the times when Vine was big. It's just kind of a community where people can chat. I guess somewhat similar to Reddit in some ways, but not really. The portal gun related divide. So I sort of want to stick to one item per biome, just because, yeah, they're not that big of thing. They're not that big of biomes, so I don't want there to be. I want there to be reasons to keep exploring, not like, oh, you find one biome. Plus, the portal gun's already one of the strongest items that you're gonna find so far. It's Reddit somewhat. It's not really Reddit-like, but in some ways it is, because you kind of get like the niche community. I don't know. I don't use Reddit. Forgive me. I don't use Reddit. Hello, I'm late, so I don't know if you've done this yet, but can you make a worm or a wyvern using a phantom to be able to both fly, swim, and walk? Not really a worm. No, wyvern. Wyvern is two wings and two legs. You can't really put legs on it. How dare you click up? I don't know what click up is. Do you have any other biomes in mind? So yes, the next one is going to be the shipwreck. After that, let me pull up my notes real quick. I actually do have some notes written down. Where is it? End update. Here we go. So the shipwreck is the next major one that I want to do. The next one after that is the resin remains, which is going to be. So the resin remains are going to be sort of like this, almost like a castle made of resin, but that's sort of like clipped into the terrain in weird ways where it doesn't quite actually fit like it's supposed to. So it's almost like there's this castle that existed in a different dimension that sort of got teleported and like mashed into the existing terrain that exists, if that makes sense. As you can call it a worm or a wyvern and make it walk on land, swim. Probably not for this project, that'd be too much. Okay, so what I need to do is make it so that if a laser hits... Where's the damage over here? No, that is the wrong project. If a laser hits a Vex, it needs to summon a laser pointer. So what I need to do is structure void, give me this. Give ls structure block. It's the duplicate. This might be the duplicate. Yeah. We got to change this one to main, but that's fine. Resin in the end. Resin in the end. Resin in the end. So yeah, kind of the whole, like I said, the somewhat, like I said, it's not really lore, but I'm sort of doing a somewhat quasi lore for this whole project. And so, like, a lot of what's happening is basically the end almost exists as a dimension between dimensions. And so that's why anything that naturally spawns here has the ability to teleport. And so there's kind of this idea where every so often certain structures from different dimensions get picked up and dumped in the end, if that makes sense. Because my goal is, like I said, when it comes to designing things, I'm not going to put like a big explicit lore here. That's not my goal. But I want to design with sort of like a quasi lore in mind. I just think that makes for a better project overall, because then it seems like everything is actually connected, if that makes sense. Let's go 1 to America for you tonight. I'm pretty free tonight. I would say an American free tonight. I'm gonna have some apple pie later, and I don't think there's that much more free than apple pie. Okay, so now I need to get the command that I just got rid of. Um, run scores equal timer equals 2 dot dot. So that way it's not itself. Sidebar. Yeah, should be timer. Okay. If entity at e equals 1, type equals vex, run structure load laser structure. Alright, so you can make Endermite able to fly and causes wither too when you get near it. Yeah, that'd be fairly easy. Guppy loves Dr. Lucky, confirmed. Sure. By the way, what do you all think the deal with Endermites is? Do you have ideas for any other mobs, any other new mob other than modified Vexes for this biome? I actually don't. I don't think it would be a bad idea to add a second mob that's somehow related, but still sort of end related, if that makes sense. I can't guarantee that I would take suggestions, but I am absolutely open to suggestions as it would be helpful. It'll be if you had to pick one of the items you already made for the end to fight with, what one would that be? Well, I've only made 3 so far. The portal gun isn't actually a weapon. You could definitely do some stuff where, uh, probably the easiest way to kill someone with a portal gun would be, whoops, that's not the portal gun. Oops, no, come on. Super obnoxious because you can't sneak while you're flying. So I'm gonna do this. The easiest way to kill somebody with a portal gun, you would have to do something like this. Have like a portal off the side of something, and then bop, shoot that under somebody so that way they go right off the end. So with that, but I think the gravity staff would definitely be the easiest way to get a kill. So, Crystal Fields. It doesn't look like a field, but okay. It's a field. I think it's a field. I mean, it's a field. I mean, the end is basically all fields on islands, pretty much. So, all right. Just make sure I type this correct. All right. Okay. I'm actually not quite sure why that didn't work. So, I did a specific -100. Mm-hmm. It's not spawning up here, is it? No. Okay, so it does. Structure file works. Just gonna make the radius way too big for a second here. Okay, so it did spawn one over here. No, that was me deleting it. Never mind. Okay, Guppy, do you have a dedicated tutorial for random structure spawning with commands? No. Bigger and slower endermite to the crystal fields. It's not a bad idea. We could do something like that. Make ender slimes and an FMB whirlpool creation similar to cherried abyss. I don't know what that is. At entity. Oh, right. I was going to do if, but switch it to at. Alright, come on. Ah, see, there we go. It did work. Alright. Now we do this. And then drop it down to 1. Alright, so now... Ah, look at that. So if one of these guys gets hit with a laser, I don't know why those are spawning. And I sort of do. I have an idea of why. Will it give you an MC structure? Yes. Yeah, I will give a world download and a structure file for this project. Alright, sweet. So now, if these guys get hit with a laser, they will drop a custom laser pointer. Look at that. What are those? Genuinely not sure. I have a guess, but I'm not certain. But yeah, custom drops. Look at that. Does it only happen if they get hit with a laser? How do you get the first one? So that's the whole point. The Vex is if we go back to the biome, wait for some of these guys to spawn in. These guys are going to be naturally, they shoot lasers randomly, but also they're going to shoot more whenever you're around. So when you come to this biome, essentially what you have to do, you sort of have to navigate in such a way, almost bait these guys for a laser to either come from a Vex and shoot a different one, or you basically have to make it ricochet back into the sender. So you sort of have to mess around with, the whole point is like you have to mess around with the ricochet mechanic. So just to do this. Nope. Nope. So I don't feel like actually dying. But I want these guys to aggro onto me. Nope. Alright. So you guys can see right now they're just sort of floating around. Occasionally they're going to shoot a laser. See now some of these guys are getting aggro on me. So what we need to do is basically get it in such a way that we try to ricochet it back into the Vex or to get it to hit a different Vex entirely. So you guys can see how these bullets are bouncing around. Oh, see, we got one. I'm actually not taking any damage, but I'll look into that. It's probably a bug I have with laser pointer. But see, look, they're spawning in already. So it's actually not all that hard. You either get a Vex to shoot a different Vex, or you get it to ricochet. But kind of the point is you actually have to interact with some of the mechanics here, like the ricocheting lasers and the Vex, in order to actually get the special item from this biome. Of course, once you get the special item, it's super easy to get a whole bunch of them. because you just have to shoot one of these guys, and then they're going to drop the special item. So super easy to get the once you get the first one to just farm these if for some reason you want to. But in other words, you actually have to interact with the biome to begin with. Okay. Hello, Laserbacks. So that's it. I will look at what the portals are. I understand why the portals are happening. It's just annoying that they are. But it's fine. I can fix it. It's a bug that happens with the type of raid. Oh my goodness, let me type. Okay. Cridbis, it was the child of Poseidon, who was cursed to be a whirlpool by Zeus because he tried to, for some reason, help her father. Interesting, I'll have to look it up. When do you think you'll publish the end update? Okay, so I'm going to publish the project itself whenever the video itself is finished. My hope, because I want to have at least 5 biomes. Right now I got 2. I would love to have it by this Friday. I cannot confirm that's going to happen, as much as I would love it to be the case. But before December, because my goal is at least to have the video up during Christmas break, because I think it should be a good video, because the end update is something that's going to be really cool. My goal is to have it by Christmas break, because that's something they were just for viewership stuff. Getting a video out for Christmas break that's high quality means a lot of people can watch the video, and hopefully it will do quite well, is my hope. So, Guppy, your Y value is 6. Oh my goodness. You do something. You could try to do something new with the Obsidian Pillars 2, I guess. They're so basic nowadays. They are. I'm focusing right now on the outer end, like once you go through the portal. But maybe it's not a bad idea. Okay. What do I need to do? I need to fix the portals. I mean, this is pretty simple. All I gotta do is portal gun. There we go. That should fix the portals randomly spawning, and just to make sure it didn't break this. Cool. I should fix a little gap here, though. I don't really like the gap. Anywho, what about like a condensed chorus fruit that teleports you 7 or 8 blocks forward? Not a bad idea. Okay, but yeah, so that being said, right now I do have the next biome pretty well planned out, and I have the biome after that somewhat planned out. And I do want to do 5 biomes. I'm not sure what to do for the last one. I actually had a plan originally. I don't like it, so I scrapped it. It was originally going to be kind of like these swampy, poisonous caves. The problem with caves is, number one, the way the generation would work, I'm not really super happy with the idea that I had for the generation. But also, the way end islands work. Um, the way end islands work, I don't know that they're big enough to do. I think they might be big enough for caves. Yeah, they might be big enough for caves. The problem is I can't always guarantee that it's not going to spawn. I can't guarantee that's going to spawn in the middle of an island per se, and so it could look sort of weird to just have. It could work. Caves could work. Are we at the zoo yet? It'll be like 10 more minutes. When are we getting to McDonald's? We've been driving for 4 hours. Okay, so here's the thing. I talked to your mom. She said you're getting too fat and you need to stop eating McDonald's, so we're not going to McDonald's. You can go to Subway. 10 more minutes for the zoo, but yes, you can get Subway, no McDonald's. You're getting too fat and we're worried about you. Subway's also, yeah, Subway isn't really that great. Honestly, what you gotta do, you guys want a good sub? You guys want a good sub? Here's what you gotta do. Go to like a little Italian restaurant, like privately owned, and get a sub there. It's gonna be way better for you. It's gonna taste way better than Subway. Now I don't know about you guys. Like I live in a small town, but we have a ton. Like there's not actually little like there's not like a Little Caesars or anything. There is technically a Little Caesars, but they're nearly going out of business. But there is no other like pizza places in the area that are like chains. We only have private small business ones, and they are so much better than the chains. So seriously, support privately owned Italian businesses because they are just so much better. You're 670 pounds. At that point, give up. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the stream. So thank you guys for coming. We do have another biome fully complete. So I appreciate your guys' feedback. I think this is a good like amount of density and size for the biome. I might mess around a little bit with the crystals, maybe do some more floor decorations where we have little bursts of obsidian. I don't want to change the floor completely, but I can probably mess around with some sections to make it at least a little bit better. Um, Maybe even like some endstone bricks I don't really like though because they look too formal. Um, Maybe some sandstone look good, like some smooth sandstone. Would that look good mixed in, or would that be? Maybe we could mess around with this, like some blotches of that mixed in, just to give it a little bit more variety. Um, that could potentially be it. I don't want to change it too much. I don't want you to like look at it and be like, oh wow, that looks so different than the natural ends. Like I want to make it clear, like, hey, this is still the end, but I want to add some stuff to make it look a bit nicer. If that makes sense. So, we could potentially add just some blocks that give it a little bit more variety. I like this more. Um, Potentially. I'll look into it. I said 10 minutes like 5 minutes ago. You're gonna have to wait. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It's because I actually have the heart and soul in the work rather than just trying to make money. Yeah, I mean, like we have Little Caesars, but they've been going out of business for years. They can't even afford workers pretty much. Um, yeah, I don't like birch. Normal sandstone. Yeah, normal sandstone definitely looks better. So I'll mess around with some variety of stuff. Um, because I'm not opposed to getting the floor a little bit different, but like I said, I think obsidian's too much. Where it just too much contrast than I would like. Sandstone I think is better. I don't know. Maybe even sand would honestly be alright. Or suspicious sand. I mean that's actually not a bad tech. I actually saw a terrible texture. Yeah. Guppy, you should wait until you get a kill on the warden with a spear till you can end the stream. Ah, whoops. TBA warden. Do you guys think? Should I try to find a way to incorporate spears into this update? And if so, how should I do it? I should add an Easter egg. What Easter egg should I add? Oh, let's try this again. I genuinely don't know how that missed. That didn't kill it? Alright, there we go. Did it. And